Hi guys, Christian Stylez back for another video, and welcome to all my new subscribers. I have seen that I have got at least 10 new subscribers, so if you're watching this video, hello, I see you. And for my returning bourgeoisies, it's nice to see you. Now let's get into it, because I don't like to waste any time. Today's video is going to be a topic video. Topic videos are usually not done back to back. They used to be back in the day, but not so much anymore because there's so many different things that I do. But today it is going to be a topic video, and the topic is going to most certainly be about something that this world faces, something that far too many people face, and that is self-praise. And oftentimes self-praise is not something that we do knowingly. It's just something that gets done, and then when others take offense to it and get mad and respond negatively, most people try and defend their stance when there really is no correct response, or there really is no way to really defend your standpoint when self-praise does more harm than good. And this is what I mean when I say that. Okay, so a lot of you guys are probably thinking, what exactly is self-praise? Well, self-praise is when we're having a conversation, whether that's with a loved one, like a family member or a friend, and you sit and you kind of list off in a very conversational way the things that you like best about yourself. And if that other person does not have those same features, or let's use this for an example. If I say, oh my god, I love my hair so much, it's so soft and so smooth and so wavy and so full and so voluptuous, and I just love the way it blows in the wind, and the person you're speaking to is dealing with alopecia, or is going through some sort of hair loss from post-pregnancy, or whatever it is. I don't think that that's the subject to be talking about with someone that has insecurity about the very thing that you're self-praising yourself about, because the only thing that's going to do is going to make them upset. It gives you a preconceived notion and a reputation, a staple that will follow you forever with that individual. Whether you think that they took it well or not, that is something that usually you never find out until they either say something or they throw shade that would suggest that they didn't like what you said. So, and sometimes it's not that particular person. Sometimes people keep it hidden, and they hold it in, and they let other people kind of let it be known. And it all comes to just being aware and being just be cognizant of what you're saying, and be sensitive enough to other people's values and other people's decisions, and the way other people do things, and respect people and people's point of view, and that's it. Sweep in front of your own door. There's a saying that who said it? I think Queen Latifah. If people would just learn to sweep in front of their own doors, this whole world would be cleaner. And basically what that means is, if it doesn't pertain to you, if it has no basis and doesn't do anything for you personally, emotionally, financially, respectfully, professionally, whatever, it's not necessary. It's not worth it. And I know that seems kind of cold, just to say it as plainly as that, but sometimes it's just so much easier to keep your mouth shut and to say less. We were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so we can listen more than we speak. And a lot of times that is not even clear to people. As sad as that is, for that simple principle not to be clear, just absolutely grinds my gears, because here we are. I saw this happen, and that's why I'm discussing it, because I only discuss things on my channel that have actually happened, that I've actually seen, and I was the other person on the other end of this conversation. So these are the facts. You can say how you feel. Absolutely. You can tell someone that you think your hips are too wide, or you would like to lose 10 pounds, or whatever it is. You're allowed to say those things. It's a free country, whatever. But oftentimes it's better, because you don't know that other person's story or what their insecurities are or what they're facing, to say less, or don't say it at all. If it deems as controversial in your mind, which is a common sense thing, which is not so common these days, if it deems as controversial at all, or if you feel as if it could create backlash or a negative response from the public, from the group of people you're sitting with, or from the person in front of you, whomever. It doesn't even have to be a group of people you're talking to. It could be just one person. It could be in a text message. It could be in person. It could be over social media, whatever the case may be. It could be something you posted. If it deems controversial at all, just don't say it. Because if you're thinking that you're not responsible for being sensitive to what other people have gone through, and you're not willing to put yourself in someone else's shoes to really see where they're coming from and why you being insensitive could damage them even more unintentionally, then you don't need to be saying it. It's just point blank, period, dot. I don't think for 1 minute that that conversation or that response was intentional. I really, really don't. But the fact that you would defend your own bigotry and rhetoric to justify you being insensitive, and then bring God's name into it, as if God would want the bigotry and the insensitivity to spread furthermore, when his whole principle is love thy neighbor and treat others the way that you would like to be treated. Not your best person to bring up in an argument like this, because Christian principles would tell you, whether we differ from someone's opinion or not, you going about it in such a way that would be hurtful to others and telling other people that they don't have a right to be offended by something that you said would only go to show you how clueless you really are about what you're saying, and the impact of how you said what you said affected others and their journey, and their own personal journey with themselves, which is not your personal problem. But as Christians, and as someone who wants to walk in Christ and whatever, and you want to use his name um, as a point of reference as far as how you should behave and how you should conduct yourself, I can guarantee you God nor Jesus would sit there and go, you're absolutely right. They don't have a right to be upset, and what you should fire back at them for having an opinion, and how dare they have an opinion or be offended by something that you said that you had every right to say. But just because you have the right to say it, that doesn't mean you should. People need to really get that through their head. This is a very simple, easy, honest principle to understand, and it is not rocket science. So my message to my supporters, my little bourgeoisies, and anybody here that comes here, sees this video, and supports me on a whole, or even if you don't support me 100% with all that I do, but you still respect me enough to watch this video beginning to end. My question to you all would be, first and foremost, do you think that other people have a right to enlighten you when they felt offended by something? Because that's how this whole thing started in the first place. Somebody let you know that they were offended by something you said, and then you go on social media and you defend what you said publicly, when you didn't really need to take it there either, but you chose to, in hopes to embarrass them or stand your ground on an issue that you shouldn't have been speaking about to begin with. Because people who have to self-praise themselves, that says a lot about who you are as a person and your character and everything else in between. Because people who know who they are, people who are comfortable with who they are, people who just are the most successful people in life don't need to self-praise themselves and don't need to talk themselves up. And that's what self-praise is. You talk yourself up as if the next person gives a shit. They don't. I can guarantee you they don't. It's human nature not to care. Because as far as I'm concerned, most people are out for self in this world. Like me. I came into this world alone and I'm gonna go out alone. And whoever differs from my opinion, I could care less. I could care less because it doesn't mean anything to me. People don't mean that much to me. They just don't. So the next time you sit and you think about whether or not you should respond to the way that you offended someone, if you're not going to be sensitive to the matter or empathetic, then just leave it alone. Let it go and let God. Because what you're not going to do and what you're not qualified to do is tell someone that they don't have a right to be offended based on something that you said. Just like you have an opinion that they shouldn't be offended, well, they are. And if you weren't self-praising and talking about things that A, nobody gives a fuck about, and B, really doesn't make a difference either way, it doesn't make a difference to your life either way, then you wouldn't be where you are. You wouldn't be in the situation that you're in. At all. It would have just been a casual misunderstanding and you would have went about your business and it wouldn't have been that big a deal. But instead, you decide to clap back. Not everything needs a response. And if someone goes out of your way to try and help you and try to get you to understand that, first of all, what goes around comes around, and what you're doing is not the best way to do it. If somebody's telling you that because they care, you should believe them. You should believe them, and you should be willing to see from their point of view as well. But you're so lost, most people are so lost in their own issues that they don't care to look beyond what the facts are. They don't even care to actually accept the facts as they are, because I'm presenting you the facts. You don't have to clap back to me. You don't have nothing to prove to me. Your bigotry and your hatred and your insensitivity has already spoken for itself. You don't need to prove anything to me, because to me, you're always going to be a bigot, insensitive, non-empathetic. You've already cast your stone. You've already made your mark on me and on society and anyone else that you may have offended. So there's no really winning our hearts over. But if you accept your wrongdoing and acknowledge it and fix it the next time, that's how you make positive change in this world. And with that being said, stay perfectly imperfect, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.